In South Korea, the economic boom has caused an exodus from the countryside. Many villages have been left empty and impoverished, so Tae-sung and his colleagues put their skills to work.
Look at the space between the door and the wall. You see, it doesn't close properly. Let's fix that.
It's good what POSCO are doing.
The charity work is great advertising for the company, and it barely costs them anything. It's the POSCO workers who put their hand in their pockets to fund the operation.
The employees all give 1% of our salaries towards the social activities of the business. With this money, we buy what we need to work, especially iron, which we buy from POSCO. It is true that our lives revolve around the business. I work and live in a POSCO apartment. I bring up my children here, and I finished my studies here thanks to a grant from the company. So it's normal that I give them my free time. It's a fair exchange.
This work mode has allowed South Korea to escape from underdevelopment. But today, it shows its weaknesses. It has seen several financial crises, and for the first time, the country is experiencing unemployment. At only 3.7%, the rate remains low, but competition has become even more ruthless. In Seoul, many people find themselves excluded from the system, and the poverty there is now exposed.
Granny, come on, have you already eaten or not?
No, not yet.
Do you want this rice cake?
Yes, please.
Choi is a pastor and for several years has been helping the most impoverished. Every Saturday, he organizes a soup kitchen in the northeast of the city. On the menu today is unsold food donated by local shopkeepers: rice with peas, meat and sauce, fried tofu.
Only take what you can eat, don't waste any.
Probably the only meal that these needy men and women will eat all day. There are around 50 people wolfing down their lunches, faces turned to the wall in shame.
There are people here who were directors of big companies, others who were university professors. They all lost everything in the financial crisis. But they were part of the development of the country. They've paid a lot of tax. But today, they're not recognized by the government, who want to hide all the misery in Korea and just abandons them.
Most of those in need are elderly people. In South Korea, more than 3 million of them live below the poverty line. The main cause is the pension system, which was only put into place at the end of the 80s, and many people haven't contributed enough to earn a decent pension. Most of them live in abandoned districts like this one. Pastor Choi regularly visits them.
When I don't hear from them for a while, I get worried and I wonder if they're still there, if they have a problem, if they've died. I'm always worried.
He hasn't heard from one 60-year-old man who lives in this dilapidated building for several days. The pastor wants to check that everything is okay.
Hello? Is someone there? How are you? Have you eaten?
No, I haven't eaten.
Why haven't you eaten?
I was lying down.
You have to eat. I'm not going to come in. Do you like rice cakes?
Yes, I do.
There you go, eat those.
A few years ago, Mr. Kim was a designer for an architect firm, but business wasn't booming. Today, he finds himself with no pension, and his only income is a minimal state aid of 300 euros a month. not enough for decent accommodation. This 5-square-meter room is all he can afford.
When I sleep, I unfold a sheet on the floor as I'm ill, and I put the pillow between my knees, and then I lie down.
In this box, Mr. Kim piles up his personal belongings, clothing, books, souvenirs, and a few appliances that he managed to keep from his old life.
That's my computer. That's my TV. That's some childhood souvenirs.
For the bathroom, you have to go onto the landing where Mr. Kim shares them with around 20 other tenants who live in similar conditions.
That's the shower for everybody. Those are the old-style communal toilets. We're always told that Korea is an advanced country, but look for yourself, it's a scandal. The inequalities between rich and poor are enormous.
Look after yourself. I'll see you soon.
The pastor has to leave. Others who have been left behind by society are waiting for him. 20 years ago, most pensioners lived with their children. But economic progress has changed people's mentalities, and the tradition no longer exists. Nowadays, many adults over 60 find themselves on their own, fending for themselves. To survive, they often need to work again. This grandmother is 81. Like all Korean pensioners, she receives aid from the state, but to improve her situation, she collects paper and cardboard that she finds in the streets to sell to the rubbish tip.
I never thought I would end up like this. I worked my whole life as a cleaner, ironing. I did that for over 30 years, and now my legs hurt, but I don't have the choice.
4 hours every day bent over collecting papers of pushing the cart is exhausting work. But Mrs. Choi hasn't found anything better. Her 2 adult children try to help her from time to time, but they aren't rich enough to provide for her. So, tirelessly, she takes her bounty to the tip. For this first delivery, she earns around 10 euros. The price depends on the weight.
How many kilograms do you have?
50 kilograms.
That's good for me.
The man at the tip always tells me that I'm not well and that I should stop, but I don't have much money, and even if my hip hurts, I prefer to work than do nothing.
On average, this work earns her 200 euros a month. Added to the 300 euros she gets from the government, this work allows her to live reasonably in this small 2-room flat. But the pensioner is over 80 and worries every day how long she'll be able to keep going.
I'm not happy. Often in the evenings I think about dying because life is too hard. I pray every night to not wake up. I can't wait to join God.
Mrs. Choi's words reveal a sad reality. South Korea has the world record for the highest suicide rate. On average, 40 people kill themselves every day, twice as many as in France. In Seoul, the bridges are all under surveillance. To help potential suicides, lifesavers are on call 24 hours a day. But despite their efforts, the authorities struggle to contain the problem. Over the last few years, suicide is also affecting the young due to overwhelming pressure at school.